Welcome back, everyone. Mike McConville here one more time for String Tech Workstations, Stratford, Ontario, Canada. So we're doing the wrap-up on this Larrivee that was smashed by the airlines. And I'm pretty well ready to hand it over to Darcy now. All the structural stuff has been done. Let's bring you in for a little closer look. So of course all of the abalone has been replaced, and we have this new rosewood binding on the outside. The finish has been more or less feathered. I think I'm going to let Darcy take it from here. We got a beautiful match on that soundboard, and when you look where I've sanded through here, if you look at the color here and here, I'm delighted with that match. I have masked off the flamenco tap plate, that thin pick guard that Larrivee uses, and I've masked off the bridge. But I want to bring you in for this sound hole masking trick. This is for the builders, the Patreon level 3 guys, anyone that's building guitars or spraying guitars. This may be something you've seen before, or maybe not. Let's have a look. So what I have here is I've got a tongue depressor that holds that masking guard on the inside of the sound hole down away from the underside lip. Let me just take this out. I have a balloon I've blown up in there. That's where I get my sort of spring action. And we have the little finger wheel adjustments at the edge of the sound hole, so I want to mask those off as well. And that's where we're going. So I just kind of put that bristle board in there. When you're spraying, this never actually gets wet enough for the sound hole guard to stick to the underside of the lip of the sound hole. I'm sure some of you guys have other ways of doing it. I find this is a fast, cost-effective way to do it. So I stick the balloon in the sound hole, blow it up, and then just put that bristle board piece over top. So that essentially prevents any overspray from getting inside the guitar when you're doing your finishing. And that's floating on the balloon tension. So there you go. There's a little trick for you. Cheers. So now that that Larrivee is ready to hand over to Darcy, I'm going to get back to my slightly less intense repairs and setups of a beautiful Honeyburst standard that is going to be set up for 9 to 46 strings, and of course we'll be putting a compensated nut on this as well. For my regular viewers, you've probably noticed I've had a little bit of a shop reconfiguration. I have my rolling cabinet here right at the front door, and I've got my new drill press that I just picked up a couple of weeks ago, and it's kind of tucked in the corner there. This is a 15-inch king, so there's 7.5 inches between the column and the center of the chuck. So it's deep enough for most guitar-related jobs. That's my old tried and true 14-inch Rockwell bandsaw with a aluminum block in there as a riser, so I can make a big deep cut when I need to do that from time to time. And then here, the GPS unit is on this bench, and the Larrivee is on the XLT unit. I should mention that this entire job on the Larrivee was done on the XLT unit. It never once went on the GPS unit. And of course my Patreon Tier 3 subscribers will be getting the entire play-by-play on this whole job. Next, I have my old quarter sawn oak typewriter desk. Let me bring you in for a look at this. So this just flips open, and I have my spherical radius sander in there, and of course that's run on a foot switch. But when I need a little bit of extra layout space, I've got some extra tabletop. What you see in the foreground here is a tapered maple wedge. I will use this as a backer board to shape the radius with those sanding blocks that you guys get in your kits. So on the back side of that oak desk, I have my 12-inch stationary disc sander, and of course that's the edge sander over in the corner. And of course everything is hooked up to my dust collection, which is run with a remote control. So this new setup has allowed me just a little bit more elbow room, a little bit more open space in the shop. My shop is 220 square feet. My last shop was 5,000 square feet. And you know something? I don't miss it for a second. I get more work done with my two TechDecks in this 220 square feet. Of course, you can see I use every cubic inch. This is my joiner. This is an old Poitras 6-inch joiner. I love my little shop. And I've got these library shelves that you see in all the videos and tools hanging up. I got my tool rack, an old letter rack that my dad made about 60 years ago. And over the years, I have come to appreciate less is more. And most of you guys that are doing this type of work tend to be pretty frugal. And I myself am quite frugal. In fact, if I look at the years since I left that 5,000 square foot shop, I think I've saved about $340,000 in rent. But more importantly, I love my little Zen shop. You can blindfold me and shove me in here and I know where everything is. Anyway, so this is the latest configuration. It just leaves a little bit more open space from the front door right to the back. So that's the back wall of the shop. I have my walkway up to the back of this first tech deck, to the second tech deck, and this little square of open space. Between the drill press, the bandsaw, and my rolling cabinet, I can get around pretty good in this little shop. So there you go. There's my latest shop tour. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope maybe I've given you some ideas for your own shop. I get more done in this 220 square foot shop than I ever did in a 5,000 square foot shop. Each of these tech decks take up 2.7 square feet. So basically we've got 5.4 square feet of real estate. That's where I do my work on the guitars. Everything else is just an accessory to those workstations. And whenever I need a machine shop, I've got tons of people I know locally with amazing machine shops that if I need CNC work done, which is very rare, or any type of machining, well, I know where to go. And for you guys too, get to know your local machinist. So when you need some type of metal work done, there's plenty of people around to do it. It's not necessary to have all that heavy-duty equipment. In the last 465 videos I've posted, everything is done in this little 220 square foot shop.